You're always there, wanting the best for me. When you smile, you make my life worthwhile. You make me whole again, living in shadows then. Just wait a little while, you can bring back my smile. You are the reason we are here, we need you with us, and to guide us again without fear. You are the reason, you are the reason.
Hello, hello, hello. Ouch. I just hit my knee. I'm going to pull up my fair use disclaimer, showing my channel, and so I do actually have permission vicariously. What we're going to follow, Chris gives permission. Hello, Justice Jane. Hello. Chris and the mob crew gives permission in his video for people to use clips and use his video. He works so hard. And he is so good at what he does. I wish I was half as good. Well, if I was half as good as him, I'd be as good as my husband. What's number 2? I appreciate you being here, Justice J. Oh, you were 2 to hit the thumbs up? Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I've been trying to watch this through Brittany J's channel, and I keep falling asleep. And so I decided that tonight I would just go straight to the source, and we'll see what mob crew will share with us. And the links to his description, or the links to his videos, are down in the description, but I'm going to give him credit here. If I could type. All right. And then pull this up larger.
So once again, that was his, his thing here. And here you guys go. And like I said, I had to do a lot. I've built a big rapport with the locals out here. This is 3 a.m. This is not 3:30. This is 3 a.m. Well, technically 2:58. 2:58. By the time it comes back around, we may eventually find that out. And if I can release that, I've told you guys before, speaking with the sources, the person looked at the footage and said that the car, from when it goes up killing and comes back down, it's really fast. And I've seen a small clip. This car is, like I said, so it's 20 miles in the residential. This car's hauling, right? It's going pretty fast. So here it is, silver car, just like we always talked about since 8 months ago plus. There's a couple of screenshots.
You know, I always thought that the silver car was going to end up being Chris Proudfoot's mother's car. I think she drives the same kind of car as Katie does. So I don't know.
And on cue, someone's still in a car outside. Not really. Anyway, now this is the big one. In my opinion, this is huge. This gives a lot more details about the car. So hopefully we've got some car enthusiasts and experts in the chat. But we have a pretty good idea on the make and model. But it helped all come together. So one thing I noticed right away, and let me know if you guys agree. Do you notice the right tail light is much brighter than the left tail light? Almost as if it's out. And if that's true, that's huge. Because, you know, in an unidentified car, the biggest thing you want to try to get is some kind of a unique identifier to the car. You know, if you don't have a license plate or whatever, some kind of identifier for the car, you know, a dent, special rims, you know, something unique to the car. But yeah, does that not look like, and I'll explain why it still looks lit up like this. And this is where it gets where it makes it very unique of a car. Is this looks like it's LED lights on the back. So once again, there it is. And I run some bunch of filters. I don't think the hubcaps are missing, but this is what I think is what we have here is a silver Honda Accord 2023, 11th generation. And they have the LEDs that go across, right? And let me know, again, for those that are, because I'm not a big car guy myself. But this is what we believe, at least myself anyway, believe this is a silver Honda Accord 2023 has this particular LED, you know, not all of them, but a certain portion do. Puff Muffin says LED tail lights, but halogen front bulbs. Interesting. No, that's excellent workers. Thank you. And again, it's a team effort. But notice, even as it moves, I only have just a couple of screenshots of it, but even as it moves, again, I mean, that is so much brighter than the left one. To me, that's got to be out. And that's got to be huge. You know, did somebody see a vehicle, maybe not in this neighborhood, but maybe, you know, that night they remember like, oh, I remember seeing a vehicle with, you know, one of the taillights out, right? Of course, now it's a year later. But again, assuming if this car is involved, this would be huge. So then there's a lot more. Hippie says, yep, that LED strip gives the ambient light on the left, even though the left main.
Okay, now I'm going to move over to Texas Roadhouse, and then I'm going to tell you what I think I remember, but I don't know where to find the clip to see if I'm right or not.
I could be wrong. I know I believe they have all the footage. I just don't think they have shown all of it, and there may be a reason why. But they did share something that has been put out on TikTok, so I'm going to show you. But just after they arrive. So they just went into the Texas Roadhouse. There's a vehicle that goes by right here.
Okay. Does anybody remember? Was it Hong? Somebody, I think it was Hong, showed a Ring camera clip of a car that was going by his house at night. I think it was Hong, but I'm not sure. Is that the same car that was going by Hong's house that night on his Ring camera? If anybody has that footage or can find out if it's the same car. I'm not sure, but in my mind, I'm seeing it. You know, you see it at night go across in front of the Ring camera, and I'm wondering if it's the same car. Just wondering.
Now, this is not in the footage. Again, this is something that was sent to me by the team. It is also out on TikTok somewhere. But this car is seen not long after they go in. And this appears to be a silver Honda.
And look, the headlights are on, but there's no taillight right here. Where the tail light would be lit up. Because you know he would be hitting the brakes right here because the road turns right here.
And I believe that might be like the sunroof maybe popped up a little bit or something. Kind of weird. We got 2 screenshots of it. Let me know, anybody in the chat, if they agree or disagree. Because they're thinking this is also a silver Honda Accord. Yeah, we'll put them together. I've got another screenshot so you can see the light of it as well. So that car goes by, and apparently goes by a couple times from what I understand. So here's one more shot of it, and we'll look at it close again. I just kind of wanted to show you guys where
See, now the light looks
it was
like
driving
it's on.
by so you guys kind of understand it. Car guy, you know, you got to trust the YouTube name. Silver Honda Accord with sunroof and chrome trim on black cell window. Interesting. Yes, Maui-san, correct. I wish they would show one more screenshot where we could see the, where it's, where we could see the rear of it. I don't know if maybe I can text them or not text them, email them and see if maybe they'd send me one more screenshot where the car is, a little bit more forward so we could see the back. You know what I mean? Because what I noticed, I'll show you guys here. Because remember, the one has the tail light out, and it's just a little too hard to tell if this tail light is actually like fully working, right? Because that would be the big clue, right? If that tail light is out. So now I have it flipped. I do that because I'm now going to overlay it. But here's another shot. Of course, it's just flipped.
What? He just took the image in his computer and did a flip on it. So it made it, instead, the car's actually still pointing to the left, but the image makes it look like it's pointing to the right.
It's the same car, just flipped the other way, mirrored, right? Make sure you guys can see that okay.
And see, it looks like the tail light is out.
Ah, yeah, because that is a sunroof, right? Kind of opened up. Because I thought that was weird. I'm like, God, that's so weird. Like usually you think the rooftop is flat, but I did notice. I guess you can kind of, you know, I guess it kind of bends up or something. I don't know. I did see a couple of screenshots when I was looking up Honda Accords that did have that. But then look at this tail light. So, oh wait, no. So look how it's got its light on, right? Now remember, it's mirrored, right? So this is really the left headlight. So this is the driver's side here. Looking at sunroof deflector. And then see, I just wish, because it's so tough, because if that headlight is on, and car enthusiasts, let me know, if that headlight is on, wouldn't that mean they've got their lights on, or daytime running lights, whatever? And we should know if that tail light is on or off. Now, I guess it's going to be a little bit harder because it's still kind of like daytime. But, I mean, I could run some filters, especially if this car was moved forward just a little bit, so we could see the back of it more, right? But remember, this is the left side. And if that light would be out, correct me if I'm wrong, if that's not on, then that would mean that's like a 1-to-1 match. So what do you think? Car enthusiast, what do you got? Honda Accord, anybody else got something different? Oh, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much, Maria. Yeah, Honda Accord. Yeah, Honda Accord. Yeah, that's what I've been getting, Honda Accord. So here's me overlaying that, and then I'll take a stock one and overlay it, because this one, it's kind of hard because it's not, it's a little bit more top view, right? So let me play that. And Jace, thank you so much for gifting a Mob Crew membership. God bless you, sweetheart. And thank you so much for your hard work. Jocelyn, 2 years. God bless you. Happy anniversary. And thank you so much for your amazing hard work. Back that up. That goes really fast. Ginger Bell, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. That means the world. It does help this channel out. We'll talk about the other case we're working on the side that we're going to help with here this year. Nanette, we will find you, Sebastian. Yes, I love the attitude. Thank you so much. And Rosa, God bless you. Thank you so much for the $1.99. Okay. All right. It goes a little fast. Guess I should have done this a little bit slower. I wonder if I can here. You know what I'm going to do? Give me 1 second. All right. So keep in mind when you do overlays, it's really just kind of approximation. Of course, you could take a lot of different cars, so keep that in mind. Garden says, looks like a sunroof visor, not open sunroof, though. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I'm like, man, that is kind of weird. Like, it does. It looks different, right? Interesting. So, again, here is the vehicle. And, again, car enthusiasts, let me know. Again, I'm pretty sure this is an LED light with the rear part of the car, where we've got the right tail light working, but clearly it should be the same brightness on the left, but it's not. But I think it'll still kind of light up because you have all the other lights going through the middle, right? There's me overlaying kind of a Hyundai from the side there. Let me slow this down just a little bit more. There we go. Shirley says those are the same lights in the a Toyota Camry. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few others that have those. But if that left light is out, then I would think that would be huge.
But if you notice,
Again, there's God, even when I slow it down, it's
see on it's kind of hard to see on this image, but there's like 5 different strokes here. And when he had the car sitting sideways and it was all blurry, you could see that there were like 5 spokes.
I guess I went a little bit faster, but
Well, he's overlaid already, but the wheels kind of look like the same. Maybe I can back up one little second. See, this is the without the overlay. Well, it does have overlay on it. Okay, so hold on.
if that left light is out, then I would think that would be huge. Again, there's God, even when I slow it down, it's I guess I went a little bit faster, but
Okay, let me back up. He's gonna put the overlay is gonna come in so quick.
if that left light, so again, residential.
Okay, there's no overlay on this one. If you look, you can see it looks like it's got the 5 different spoke thingies there. Because this one has no overlay on it at all. He's fixing to put an overlay on it. And this looks like the one, well, no, never mind.
20 miles an hour. This thing is going at least 30 miles an hour. Very suspicious. Straight up to a dead end, and then it's going to turn right back around. In my opinion, one of the reasons you may want to do that if you were involved is you're not going to drive and go Miss Daisy down the neighborhood knowing that there's all these people with cameras, right, that are going to capture your vehicle and get, good looks at them. But if you're hauling down the street so you can turn around, they're not going to get, they're going to have something more like this where it's a little bit more harder to clean up because you're moving so fast, right? Now, of course, law enforcement's got a lot better technology that can kind of clean this up a little bit better, right? But still, like I said, the fact that this car is going fast is very suspicious. So maybe we'll do a poll here and get an idea of what people think. So here it is.
To show the whole video.
Wait, let's look at the side view of that though. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's got the lights that stick out. Yeah, I mean, That one not as much. I mean, it does have it. Doesn't have the lights that stick out, but I'm sure there's other models that probably do. Let's see, where are we at? Oh wow, it's pretty big. 73%, 200, almost 300 votes. But yeah, I'll look at it for sure. The left tail light is clearly out in some fashion. And the reason why I think that's also big is because, the car is seen. We have this 3 a.m. vehicle, right? Make sure you guys can see it here, and then we'll go back to the car here in just a second. But one of the things, because as you guys know, most of you guys know, I've stared at this damn thing for hundreds and hundreds of hours now. And the biggest thing that always bothered me is we should be able to just see the headlight, the source of the headlight. Like, that should be like the brightest part of the car, but it's almost like it's not there. And we're just seeing, whatever the light is illuminating, right? I mean, we should have this big ball. And maybe this could be part of it, but it just doesn't make sense why it'd be blacked out, So one of my theories, and it took a long time, but I found a picture from another surveillance camera that's kind of set up in a similar fashion as the one that's there on Stafford Court, right? That captures not only this suspicious car, but the lights in the background. But it's all due to the design of this driveway. One, the camera is down at an angle. Two, the driveway itself also at an angle. And then you have the road. So you have, kind of like this, right? So what that creates, in my opinion, is we're not really seeing this car from a side view. This is my theory. Like we do with the vehicles, which we'll see here in just a second. Is that all right?
Yeah, he's saying that
So
they're leaning.
So we're not seeing, a vehicle from the side here, right? Because remember, we're thinking, oh, it's, a vertical tail light. I don't think that's the case. I think it's so if you look on the picture to the right here, this is not the same driveway. This is just a random neighborhood, just a random surveillance footage I found. And it's kind of got the same setup. It's got a security camera in the driveway. The driveway itself is on an incline, right? And then the street itself is obviously, at a different level. So I think, if you had the car, because remember, think that this would be like the Dodge, sitting right here. And then we'd have like the white truck, which would be side view. But I think with the vehicles that are actually in the street, because you have that kind of like V or whatever you want to call it, we're getting more of a top-down view, like side view. Very word salad, but so again, I think we're really getting something like this. And then if that's the case, this is where it gets, in my opinion, a little bit more exciting, because if this is more of the possibility of what we're seeing, then that means that even further confirms that we're only seeing really the right part of the tail light up and not the left side. Again, just theory. Let me know what you think in chat, but at the very least, it is not a perfect side view like we do in the driveway, because clearly this car is now on a different level, which is going to give us more kind of looking down on it. So, and again, could that just be more of the right side of the tail light being lit up and not the left? Again, just theory.
That's a good speculation.
And keep in mind, there's just so much that's lost in that video, right? Yeah, I mean, the original guy says that he can see the vehicle, so I do almost wonder if it's almost something like this, where we're kind of seeing like the right part of this LED light on the rear, and it's missing the left part. Again, just theory. Someone says Honda Civic moonroof. Maybe. But again, this car, for those that are just coming in, this car is hauling butt up this road. And keep in mind, it's almost up. Autism says, thank you for showing us, Chris. Of course, because, the biggest thing is, let's just say this driver has nothing to do with it. It'd be great to get this out there and say, hey, look, if you're the driver that was there 3 a.m. in the morning, maybe if you could contact DOG or TBI, and maybe they can just say, hey, look, we know this
To the
driver,
three people that are in the
because
chat,
I'm not going to
please hit
believe
the thumbs
SF
up.
because, he's already
What I'm doing is I'm going through the Mob Cruise video. I've been trying to see it on another channel, but I haven't been able to because I keep falling asleep on the other viewer that on Brittany J's channel when she tries to go through it. And last night she was trying to go through it, but she was having technical difficulties and her StreamYard wasn't working very well. So it kept either she would be talking and nobody else could talk, or other people would be talking and she couldn't talk, or it was just, she ended up closing her stream and starting another stream afterwards. And I had fallen asleep and didn't, I saw the close of the first screen. I fell asleep and then I woke up just as she was ending the first live stream, and then I fell back asleep and didn't know that she had run a second live stream. So I thought, I want to see this because I'm just as curious as everybody else. So I'm going through Mob Crew. I went straight to Mob Crew. And I watched his video because I wanted to make sure. I thought he told people in his videos that they have permission to use clips out of his videos. But I wanted to watch the video myself to verify that he does say it, and he actually does say it in the video. I don't know if I've passed over it or whatever already, but
lied a bunch of times and lost major credibility, in my opinion. So here's another, like I said, I was trying to run some different filters of the car. Some may look better than others. Again, I'm just playing around.
Did you have the LED light
with
in
what
the
I
back?
could. I think this really, right here, this was probably my best work with accentuating how the difference, right? I mean, there's just clearly, that's just, and that's the whole video. It's obvious. That was the first thing I noticed as it's going by. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, why is that one side so much brighter, right? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, there may be a way to kind of clean up the rims. It's tough, with it being dark.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about is on this car. This is a Honda that he's talking about.
So yeah, let's look at this Texas Roadhouse again. See what you guys think here. Hyundai Elantra. Yeah, possible. Again, remember, I'm not the car guy, but I'll try to keep a lot of these in mind. Again, I think the main working theory is the Hyundai Accord. I know we were, talking about the Nissan Altima Sentra, even though they have very close body types, but I think what gives it more about the vehicle is the rear of it, right, where we can
It almost
see
looks like your Dodge.
the tail lights,
Your Dodge Charger,
which I
Amanda?
think definitely cancels out a lot of makes and models.
Okay, now I'm going to switch over to the one he put out last night. Again, credit also goes to Mob Crew, but watch his beautiful intro. His intro is so beautiful. Yeah. Watch his intro. It's so beautiful.
Green tea.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we cover true crime, mystery to the missing. Today's video is part 2 of the Sebastian Rogers series. If you haven't seen the first video, I would suggest checking that one out first. The link to the video is down in the description below. The Mysterious 3 a.m. Lights video. During part 1 of this series, we broke down the Mysterious 3 a.m. video and its origins. We will quickly do a recap of what happened. Just after Sebastian Rogers was reported missing on February 26 of 2024, law enforcement went around collecting surveillance footage from that neighborhood. One of the more important pieces of footage collected was from this home here, where a local reporter, Nick Barris, would eventually release some of that footage to the public.
What you will see here are these 2 points of light believed to be people with flashlights in the area around Sebastian Rogers' Hendersonville home. You see 2 light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area.
Although Nick Barris's video only focused on the moving lights in the background, there was something else caught on that same camera. It wasn't until weeks later that more footage was actually leaked onto a Facebook page, and in one of those clips was what appeared to be a vehicle that had turned on its lights. As you can see here in clip number 2, a major light source turns on. Even though the original version of the footage allegedly shows the actual vehicle, in this version you can see where 2 light sources turn on at the same time, the tail light and headlight. You can also see when the headlight turns on, it casts light onto the back of the white truck. Early rumors of 2 vehicles. During the first few months, there was some chatter on social media, especially on Facebook pages, where locals and others spoke about what they may have saw or heard that night, during which 2 vehicles were mentioned. One was a vehicle that was an Uber driver sometime around 3:30 a.m. that picked up a resident off the top of Killen Avenue. This homeowner ordered this Uber to get a ride to the airport. He quickly came forward on social media to explain the vehicle's origins. But then there was another car mentioned, which was spotted on multiple cameras sometime around 3 a.m. Believed to be a dark or gray sedan seen driving up Killen Ave, then turning around. To this day, that driver or what they were doing that night is still unknown to the public. Almost a year later, screenshots from one of the cameras off Killen Ave would be shared on Twitter, which confirmed the 3:30 Uber driver, but it would also reveal the unknown car, which was taken at 2:58 on this camera, which literally confirmed the rumor.
Did it have a sunroof? It had a little, like, kind of a half moon scoop thingy at the top that kind of went like this, and it had like a sunroof type thing here. But it wasn't a full sunroof. It was just like a little one like this that was across the top.
That the locals claim they saw and heard that early morning. The Proud Feets hire a PI. The Proud Feet would hire a PI sometime around in the late summer or fall of 2024. This PI went to that neighborhood to collect any surveillance footage the locals still had saved, along with speaking to them about what they saw or heard. He would then slowly drip certain screenshots from that night, along with some clips from different cameras on the night Sebastian Rogers disappeared. The most interesting was 2 photos he uploaded from the same camera taken off this home up towards the top of Killen Ave, one of which shows the 3:30 Uber driver, which he had no problem showing the vehicle and the driver, only crossing out the driver's face and license plate so they wouldn't get doxxed. But he had also revealed the 3 a.m. car, but something was different. This PI allegedly went out of his way to put a black box over the car, even though it would be impossible for anyone to ID the actual driver due to the low light and angle in which a license plate could not be seen. He would claim he did this so the person would not get doxxed. Here is the PI on the Lore Lodge channel talking.
Sorry, I walked away. I heard a thud. I don't know if you could hear it or not, but it was the wind blowing a tree limb down, hit the house.
About that 3 a.m. vehicle, claiming he knows who the driver was and what they were there doing that night. But listen to this clip, as it makes zero sense on what he's actually talking about.
It's been known about the Uber was there for a long time, and I think even the gentleman who got the Uber to go to the airport had put it on Facebook in the first day or two that he's like, "Oh, I had an Uber come at 3:30 in the morning." So that had been known. So I wasn't afraid to put that out. However, the other vehicle, which I listen, I know nobody wants to take my word for it, but I can promise you, the car is not foreign to the neighborhood. It's known, and they are not. That's not known. If that person, I know people would try to find out who that is and whatnot, and they go after them. And this person, quite honestly, this person probably has no idea that people are trying to figure out what car that is and stuff. And it has nothing to do with anything. Unfortunately, keep in mind, we want to find.
No, last was like 5 or 6 days ago, and wasn't she saying she was having problems with her asthma or something? She wasn't feeling good. I don't know. I hope she's all right. I don't know anybody that knows how to get a hold of her.
The clue. So it's disappointing to us as well, when when none of these things are connecting. None of these things are connecting. None of these things are connecting. Things are connecting.
You were saying something. I don't want to cut you off.
Think of it as like, there's daily, like people that come in Ubers and stuff like that, or Amazon deliveries or whatever it may be. But you have this, you have the same type of person for the neighborhood. So it's a known person, but not necessarily a resident.
So is this somebody with any known connection to the Proudfoot family?
No.
Okay. So not a family member, not a friend.
Yeah.
Is this
I mean,
somebody?
keep in mind, there's a construction site next door. There's a lot of work going on. And I know that it's a weird time of morning, but there's still, things that there's still, workers and whatnot. It's not a worker from the construction.
I know she has her. I know she has her grandson the one day. Maybe she's busy with him. Oh, you know what? It is spring break. I don't know about down Texas, but it is. I don't know. You could be right. You could very well be right.
It's
As you can tell in this interview, it seems he has no idea who the driver actually is. This would raise major flags due to the fact that he was hired by the Proudfeet. In my opinion, clearly shows bias in his investigation. The 3 a.m. car and what it likely did. Although speculation, it is believed the 3 a.m. vehicle and its alleged passengers were responsible for abducting Sebastian Rogers. It's also believed this could have been an inside job involving possibly Katie the mother, Chris, and or others. Thanks to a YouTube creator called Silvers on the Scene, they took a drive through that neighborhood sometime in the fall of 2024. They showed what it looks like driving through that neighborhood at night. They would even take the same route as the 3 a.m. vehicle. But unknown to the residents, on the early morning of the 26th, something more sinister was likely going on. This unknown car was spotted on multiple cameras heading up Killen Ave, seen here in this recreation. One camera in particular would capture the car towards the top of Killen Ave, seen here in this screenshot, captured at exactly 2:58 a.m. The car would continue up Killen Ave, after which it was spotted turning around at the dead end towards the top of Killen and Devon Court. It would then head back down towards Killen and would be spotted again on multiple cameras. The 3 a.m. car would then allegedly stop somewhere between these homes and let out 1 or 2 passengers. They would allegedly head towards the Proudfeet home through the common area near the backyard of their home. I believe the 3 a.m. car at this point had turned off its headlights and began to slowly turn onto Stafford, as the roads in this neighborhood are narrow, and perhaps to get a better vantage point of the common area. But as they turned onto Stafford, something happened I don't think they were prepared for. A motion sensor light from this home with their surveillance camera was set off. You can see that although they had a separate light source on near the driveway, they also had a backup motion sensor with a light, and that clearly gets activated, seen here. What's interesting is in the recreation of driving through the neighborhood, the same exact thing happens just as they turn onto Stafford, seen here.
Hold on up, son. Cool. And that would be the house. They just had something lined up. Keep on going. That's the house with the security cam. Okay, let's go.
I believe the car sat there with its lights off while Sebastian Rogers was possibly being moved between the common area. If we notice in this footage, we can clearly see how dark it is in this particular area. Also, there is a ditch that runs down the middle of the common area. I believe they originally planned to move him in that ditch. After sitting there for a minute or so, where the motion sensor light had now turned back off, I believe the car and the abductors changed their plan, and the car turned on its lights, seen here. and then
Yes, I
backed
do.
up onto
Amanda
Kellen
Panda's
Ave.
a mod.
Somewhere between these homes. Then the abductors quickly put Sebastian into the car and
See,
took
Amanda's
off.
got a wrench.
Shortly after, as we can see in this third clip, the motion light had been activated again, likely from when the car had backed up. Meanwhile, we can see a subject running back towards the Proudfoot home. The 3 a.m. car finally revealed. Just recently, certain people got a hold of some footage of the 3 a.m. car, and here are some screenshots of that car from the side and from the back. As you can tell, just as the rumors from many, many months ago, it was some kind of silver four-door sedan has held up, as what is seen here appears to be some kind of silver dark gray four-door sedan with tail lights that could be possibly LED tail lights, which could narrow down the pool of possible cars. But here are a couple of frames of the car moving. If you or someone you know knows the driver of this vehicle and they have not come forward to TBI, I would encourage that person to come forward if they haven't already, as it is believed that this car could be involved in the possible
Yes,
abduction
Justin
of
does have
Sebastian
good
Rogers.
info. And Remy is
Please share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Please hit that like button if you would like to see a part 3.
Okay, so. Okay, Edward, you got to get in. So. I'm glad I finally got to see that. And would you quit biting me? I'm sorry I had to put you down. But don't bite me. Sorry, my cat. Remy is cute. Remy is really cute. And she's getting mischievous. But I used to be, I think I'm subscribed to Justin. I just don't watch him very often. So I've got so much going on. We're working on my website, trying to get items moved off of eBay onto the website and trying to research things and now doing this. I was halfway to Wichita this morning when I found out that we weren't going to the gym this morning. So then I come home and started working on transferring items out of eBay into my website, and because my husband's going to build me a store. And so, and then I went to silent auction to look at 3 storage lockers over in El Dorado. I only bid on one of the 3. And then I went to the Goodwill in El Dorado because CJ asked me to drop some clothes off for him that didn't fit him anymore. And so I had to shop. I mean, you can't go in the Goodwill parking lot and not. Plus, I paid for my booth rental April 26th. Amanda Panda, if you can come up for that weekend, that would be amazing. There's going to be a 1-day, 8 to 3 indoor yard sale in our train depot in El Dorado. And I've rented a whole room that I'm going to set up tables in and try to sell off a lot of this stuff. And I was there this past weekend, and a lot of people were selling kids' clothes and baby clothes, and one lady was selling jewelry, and one lady was selling cookies and cake or breads and things. And a lot of people, there's only 12 booths in the 12 spaces available in the building, but they're going to have some outside because it's going to be warmer. And so I've got an indoor room, and I'm going to set some tables up, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So I'm going to take a lot of this stuff that I'm not going to list on my website. And I've got stuff in a storage locker here in town. I've got stuff in my RV garage. I've got stuff in my basement. I've got stuff in my office. I've got stuff that I'm using as decoration, even though it was listed on eBay. But eBay decided they didn't want my stuff listed, so they started delisting, which we found out today that for the process of moving items over to my storefront on my website, they did half the work for me by delisting my products, because all I have to do is go, because there's a whole list of what they've delisted. All I got to do is click that and move it over and delete it. Click it, move it, delete it. Click it, move it, delete it. It's just, and if it's listed, then I got to list it. I got to go to the listing, click it, move it, go back, then unlist it, then delist it. Then, so yeah, it's April 26th, Manda Panda. If you want to come up and help me with that. Because Butch's idea is bring totes of stuff that we can set under the table, and as stuff starts getting sold, we can put more stuff up. Right. So, okay, I'm going to get off here. Brittany J's supposed to be going live about 7 o'clock tonight. And I don't want ours to overlap. I try to be polite that way. So, thank you for being here. I'm glad we got to see what Mob Crew was showing and I didn't fall asleep during it. And do something nice for, if you want to watch the full videos, the link is in the description in my bottom. Please hit the thumbs up. Do something nice for someone, even if it's only make them smile. And get locker. See you tomorrow.